Hi there. Very good morning and good afternoon to all of you, depending on wherever you're watching me. And I'm Simply Stocks, and I'm live in this live session as promised around 11:40 a.m. as I promised earlier. And today I'm going to discuss about a couple of stocks, uh, two companies that have done, one that has done well, the other one that have disappointed. Uh, in the last quarter's numbers, and let's understand what should be the strategy going forward while investing into these two companies, or if you are invested, what you need to do in them. uh, Apart from that, I will also discuss and answer your queries. So let's have more people join in. Let's wait for a minute. Let's have more people join in, and then we can start the discussion. About the markets, markets are doing fairly well, fairly okay. And hopefully, till April, I'm understanding that the markets would remain stable. There could be some up and down movement, but till April end, I feel that mid caps should outperform and should do well going forward. Uh, then you need to understand that there is always a sector rotation that is continuing. So people are moving from, you can say, consumers to, you can, metals, and then other commodity stocks. Then people are moving to autos as well, from pharma and IT. So this is continuous, but we need to pick the best of the stocks and hold them continuously over a period of time. Uh, and another point I want to make here, just a one liner, that Kilpest looks attractive at around 300, 310. So if anybody who like to take some amount of risk, there is always queries coming in for Kilpest. I think around these levels till 270, very good levels to accumulate. I don't see the stock going below 250 levels. So that's about Kilpest, and I see numbers improving after a couple of quarters. So next two quarters could be difficult. So the stock may gyrate between 255, 260 on the lower end till 330 on the upper end. But keep accumulating, and hopefully after 6 8 months, from 2022 onwards at most, things will look very good and positive for the company. All right, so let's begin the session, and I'm going to discuss about one company that is into autos, and they are into, you can say, aspirational autos, and we are talking of Eicher Motors. Eicher Motors came out with their Q3 performance, and although it was decent, yet the stock fell because of its valuation. The valuation is extremely stretched based on FY22 numbers. Its valuation is still something like 50% expensive than other auto companies. And yes, there's always a premium for that stock because of the kind of product that it is selling. But 50% uh, appreciation or 50% premium to most auto stocks is slightly ahead. And that is why the stock ended up dropping. So what happened was the stock came down today and then stabilized around 2700 and then started to move up. I believe that there will be some more downfall coming up, so the stock may go to 3000, 3100, but around 2600 to 2550, very big support is there. And I am sure that the kind of number that they have produced, I don't see that the stock should go below that when considering the numbers. So hopefully going forward, what you all can do, and somebody who's invested can buy at around 2600 or so if it goes there or below that, and just keep accumulating. And over the next 2 3 years, we may see a 3300 to 3500 on the stock. So I'm not negative on the stock at all. It's just that it has run up so much that eventually the stock would need to consolidate and fall, and that is what it is doing. Probably for the next 5 6 weeks, it may consolidate between 2500 on the lower end to 2800 on the upper end. It may touch 3000 3100 first, and then it will consolidate in this range, and that is where one needs to accumulate. The second stock I want to talk to you about, and this is a very good consumer stock, and I made a couple of videos over the last 1 year on this, This is into kitchen accessories, and I'm talking about, and you must have guessed it, I'm talking about TTK Prestige. The numbers are tremendous, very strong. It has fallen today by 2-3%. Last I saw it, I don't know what is the current situation, but in the morning it did fall by around 2 to 3%. I think around these levels between 6,500 to 7,000. These are very, very attractive levels to buy. I won't be surprised if this stock goes on in the next 18 months to scale 5 digit and beyond, 10,000 and beyond, maybe before that also. But I think between 6,500 to 7,000 would be your buying range. I think 6,000 will be a strong support. The numbers with 23% increase in sales and profitability also rising a lot. And you need to understand that the stock itself has produced 30% ROE over many years. So the stock has not done a lot in the last 8-9 years. So I remember in 2012-13 I used to trade in this stock. The stock was between 2,300 to 2,700, and today it is around 6,000, 6,500. So it has just more than doubled. In fact, before results it was around 5,500, so exactly double of that price in the last 8 years. Maybe the time has come for TTK Prestige to really outperform, to really do well. And I believe that this breakout with the numbers, supporting numbers, I believe I won't be surprised if the stock keeps on going higher from here. And with higher prices, people will stay away from the stock and there will be more aspirational buying. As we have seen with Dixon, the stock kept on surging from 6,000, 7,000. Yes, the numbers are fabulous, but today it is at around 19,000 or so. And I don't say that this may go to 19,000 at TTK Prestige, but I do believe that over the next 18 months, we may see 10,000 on the stock. So if somebody has a good 18-24 month time horizon, can buy at these levels, hold the stock, and probably make money. I think numbers have been pretty good, and I don't see the stock falling below 6,000 levels. So these are the two stocks I wanted to talk to you about. Yes, numbers of iShares is not good, and this is a great opportunity to buy at around, you can say, 2,500, levels. And numbers of TTK is brilliant, and it has taken out the resistance of 6,000, 6,200, as I mentioned before, and now it is probably ready for a huge up move over the next 2 years. So buy on both counters. It's just that you have to just wait for the buying range to get into such stocks. All right. So I'm ready to answer your queries. Kindly use the super chat and super sticker features to ask queries, and that will help me grow the channel. That will help you also ask me questions in greater detail. Also, kindly support me on Patreon. I would like to take this opportunity and thank all the Patreon members who have joined in this month and all that have been with me over the last year or so since I began the Patreon website. It has been around 10, 11 months, and people have been greatly supportive. And this is the biggest, you can say, fillip for me through the support of Patreon, that I'm able to continue doing each day, making videos and bringing out, you can say, companies for you. And through Patreon, you'll be able to ask me questions directly on a one-on-one basis on the Patreon website, and I keep on replying. And I would say that I try my best to reply as quickly as possible, and most of my Patreon members will vouch for that, that I do that, that the reply comes extremely fast. Plus you have access to my portfolio, a 25 stock watch list that I keep on updating between 7 to 10 days with respect to their prices and where to buy them. The best of the 25 stocks that I believe that should be traded or bought into on an investment basis. Plus a lot of podcasts that come up every day. So every 2-3 days, I put a podcast on short-term calls on stocks. I put a podcast on what I have done with my portfolio, on anything that I like in the market, exclusively for Patreon members. I put a podcast there, so you get a lot of things. The membership begins, and there's a time frame for it, from the second of every month. You can take the membership, and it goes on till the 30th. So the cycle is from the second of every month. So kindly take that, and if you are not okay with that, you can leave before the first of the next month. All right. Uh, So let's begin with the questions. Thanks a lot, Ramadin, for your contribution. Your views on Garware Fibers and Relax. So Garware Fibers is a buy, slightly run up a bit. So slight declines, consolidations for a few days. You buy, but have a good long term time horizon. It will reward you well between 20%, 18-20% CAGR minimum. FL India is expensive. Relaxo, I would still prefer Bata. Bata has declined today. Wait for more declines on Bata and probably around 1420, 1430. Good levels to get into Bata if it goes there. I think 1370, 1380 is a strong support. So get into Bata rather than Relaxo. That would be my suggestion. And thanks for your contribution. Uh, Nestle India at current levels, I would believe that Nestle, Pidilite, Asian Paints are buys at all levels. And just that the time frame has to be longer. Probably 5 to 7 years would be better. 4 to 5 years, 7 years, and you will gain a lot of traction with your investments in such stocks. Root Mobile and Tanla both are expensive in my opinion. Yes, they can keep going up. So something like FL, Root Mobile, Tanla, Dixon, they are all expensive. If you want, you can buy, but keep strict stop losses if you have short-term time frame. If you have 5, 6, 7 years, yes, it could bring you returns, but understand that they have run up a lot. So one iffy results, one result that is up and down, and you will be in trouble. You could lose out 20, 30% if you're ready for that. Then you can probably get into it. Yes, for sure. Britannia's debt is increasing. It is a case for concern, yes. But I still feel the kind of management pedigree it has and valuation that it is trading at, I would still say it's a buy. The debt has increased purely because of the fact that they are trying to expand more. Uh, Probably over a year and a half, you will see numbers kick in as well for their expansion, and things should look bright. Yes, but yes, increase in debt is a concern there, but the valuation have come down. So 3200, 3300, good levels to get into Britannia. I don't doubt the management at all, and we have seen how the company has grown from 350, 380 levels 8, 10 years back to be becoming 12, 15x at its peak. So that's why I have full faith with the management. I would avoid both Bandhan and AU small finance. I'm not in favor of the banking stocks at all, apart from a few banking and you can say NBFCs, one NBFC, and you would understand which one I'm talking about. That's just about it. All right. A DMART buy level would be around 2600. If there is a sudden fall of 8-10% from current levels, 2600, 2550, very good levels to get into a DMART. And these are the same levels I'm looking for in iShare Motors. If that arrives, I think iShare at around 2600, 2550 would be a very good level to get into iShare. All right. At Dr. Reddy's, good levels to buy currently. I think pharma has corrected. If it has not corrected price wise, it has corrected over time wise. I think these are decent levels in most pharma, good quality pharma companies to get into. I think Abbott has very big support around 13,500. Around these levels can be bought into. Above 15,400, there could be a real surge in the stock. I think if you have a 4, 5, 7 year time frame, is a good stock to get into. Cocoyo Camlin is an avoid. I want to say one more thing that Abbott, Sanofi kind of stocks, these kind of stocks need to be held on to for years. These are generational type of stocks. These are portfolio type of stocks. Pidilite, Asian Paints, etc. 8, 10 years time frame will garner you much more money rather than holding for 1 or 2 years. So that's my, and Pfizer as well in that list. All right. I would say Dixon can go to 22,000 even from here. A hold with a tight stop loss, say 17,000, 17,500 or above. It is already expensive. May still go up. So hold with a stop loss. That would be my suggestion on Dixon. All right. A Kaplan Point came out with decent numbers. I'm positive on Kaplan Point. I think 450, 500, decent levels to get into at these levels. I won't be surprised if it gives you 18-20% CAGR going forward. Okay. Burger King is expensive. I believe around 70 to 80 rupees would be better. I think it is expensive and not a profit making company. Going forward, it should become profit making. That is what the call is. I think it is expensive at these valuations, as is Jubilant Food Works. So things have become extremely expensive on some fronts. So kindly be careful in that regard. A CDSL is another portfolio kind of a stock. 6, 7, 8 years will garner you money because people will open up more accounts and get into stock investments. That is the thesis, but not an immediate reward in such stocks. All right. So I've talked about Burger King already. Deepak Nitrite, for some reason, I feel is expensive. I feel it is an avoid. I think there are many other, you can say, chemical companies that you can get into. I've talked about one chemical company already today on Patreon in my podcast. So I do talk about some of the stocks that could be bought on a short-term basis. So there are chemical companies, and I have talked about them in a exclusive video as to which chemical companies could be bought into. You can watch that video as well. But Deepak Nitrite per se is an avoid in my opinion. Berger Paints expensive. I think Asian Paints is more attractive at around 2,500 rather than getting into a Berger Paints. That would be my suggestion. Tata Power is the probably the best power company at the moment with NTPC. But I would avoid such stocks. Yes, you can buy for dividend, etc. But for stock appreciation, look at private companies. Look at private consumption companies in all domains, not just FMCG. That would be my opinion. Balkrishna Industry came out with not the best of numbers, and that's why the stock fell. Plus, they are spending money into non-core assets and spending big time, and that's why the fall. Maybe if it consolidates here or goes down further, you can accumulate, but don't expect the stock to reverse very quickly. It will take a year and a half for really to make profits in Balkrishna. That would be my suggestion. L&T Infotech current levels, very good levels. Declines 3,700, 4,000, very good levels to get into. Even current levels are decent levels to get into L&T Infotech. One of the favorites in the IT space for me. All right. Aarti Drugs has had some issues with its, you can say, kind of working that they are doing. I would say avoid. Again, there are many other companies in pharma that you can look into. Dr. Reddy's, Divi's, Ipca. Then there is Syngene. There's Biocon. Even Biocon at 400, 420, nobody is talking about. I believe that it can really do well over a couple of years. Just one aberration with the kind of results that they have come up with, and with whatever happened with the top management. So that's why the problems, but I think it will come over it. I think Birlasoft at current levels is decent. I think it has run up again. It fell about few days back. Those were good levels to get into Birlasoft. Camcon, I don't have any opinion. I need to research more and then probably get back to you. Both are expensive, Havels, Polycab, and that's what I'm saying. Some of the stocks are exorbitantly expensive, so be careful. Uh, one iffy result, and the stock may fall 10-15% in one go, and that's why I would say it is avoid. Avanti Feeds at current levels is a buy. I believe that over a period of time, rather than buying into other companies which are into pisciculture, which are into fisheries, in this aqua space, I would like to get into something like Avanti Feeds going forward uh, for a period of 2-3 years. All right. I would say avoid Galaxy surfactants. I think SRF, Naveen Fluorine, I believe alkyl amines and many other chemical companies, even Pidilite I consider as chemicals. They are better companies. Even Tata Chemical is better on declines can be bought into. So somebody asked about Tata Chemicals. Frontier Springs will come out with numbers in a couple of days. So let's see how the numbers pan out, and only then I can probably talk about it in a greater detail as to how the price is currently. Thanks a lot, Bharat, for your contribution. ITC is an avoid for me all the time. I do not talk about sin stocks a lot. What I can say is that once their consumer business demerges, I am ready to buy at much higher level than these rather than buying now and when cigarettes. So right now what has happened is that cigarette taxes has not been increased by the government this time around, but it could very well change midway through or something. So I would avoid ITC. There are many other consumer brands that you can look at. Britannia at 3400 is a much attractive proposition at the moment. Apollo Pipes, again, a very good company, expensive valuation. That's the only point. Time Technoplast is a good company. I think you can accumulate this stock. I cannot say that what kind of levels you will get or what kind of appreciation, but decent company to accumulate. Uh, I think Dr. Lal Path Labs is expensive. I think it is consolidating. Wait for major decline or something that triggers a fall, and then probably you can accumulate something like Dr. Lal. All right, guys. Thank you. Thanks for being online. Kindly support me on Patreon and kindly subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon so then you get my videos straight away when I post it. Thanks a lot for watching.